Make sure you guys have subscribed. We have some fun stuff coming up, like taking the engine out of the CBR 1000. We're gonna make like a little Leroy, as Dr. Evil would say. So stay tuned for that. Now, as you guys know, in the last episode, we were trying to drill through this stainless, and that was the biggest issue, was I couldn't get these holes hogged out enough to weld up our runners to them. I listened to the comments, and we went ahead and we bought this cheap Amazon plasma cutter. Now this one, I had to get a green one, which was a little bit more expensive, but it was gonna match my Everlast welder. So we bought this green one, and I guess we should put it to the test. Disclaimer, I've never used a plasma cutter before. Bruh. Now admittedly, like most men, I'm not good with instructions, but we're gonna give it a shot just to see if we can get this thing to work. They do give you a little bit of a kit here. We've got some sort of air regulator that gets bolted to the back of the machine here. So we've got it fired up here. It just plugs into our regular 220 plug in the wall there. The same one for our welder. I had to get a green one to match my Everlast stuff, but we got our shit ass air compressor here as well. I had to set the regulator on the back, plug the torch and the ground in, and then I should be able to cut, hopefully. Ignore my small air leak. We're just gonna give it a try on, I don't know. Let's just do it on the manifold. Alrighty, as you can see, these ones are all welded up except for this little spot right here that I just realized wasn't welded. I didn't back purge it because this is just like wastegates. It's, even if they're sugaring on the inside, it's not gonna go up into the turbo, I don't think, anyways. But yeah, the plasma cutter works well. You can use it fairly simple. I have to work on like precision with it, but I mean, we only needed small holes because just in case we wanna wastegate some stuff. Chances are we're not. We're gonna clamp shut and just see how much power it makes, but just in case. Now I'm gonna go inside because it's super smoky in here. I'm gonna let this air out. So essentially I left my heater off all night for 24 hours. Now it's freezing cold in here. I have earplugs in, so I'm probably yelling at you. We're gonna cut these at a slight angle facing forward on all four corners, and then we can put these back in the car and start making pipes to where we want our wastegates to go. Kind of cool when an idea starts to come together. Our black sheep wastegates here, 45 mils. They're not going to be touching the pipes like they are now. They're just resting so they don't fall over because the flanges aren't welded. I only have 2 flanges until I get the other 2 wastegates, so I have to use these ones to mock with the back ones as well. But yeah, that's going to be what it looks like. But I think I'm going to turn them this way and then get some 90-degree pipes and just come up straight like those ones are. And then we'll have 12 pipes facing up, because who doesn't love 12 hater pipes? All right, I went ahead and I got this back one tacked in. You can see the back one. We don't have as much room between where the manifold is and the cowl, so you kind of just got to put it where it is, which is going to be higher up than the front. But behind all the exhaust pipes, it's not going to be bad, I don't think. One more to go on the other side. This one's gonna take a little bit of lengthening and a longer radius 90, but we'll get it. I went ahead and I mocked up our back one. You can see now, I mean, nothing's like perfectly level because I'm not that awesome, but actually that turbo looks tipped, to be honest. Maybe just that exhaust pipe. I'm gonna have to reline up all the exhaust pipes anyways when I put it back on. But these two are on, the back two are tacked together now. Like I said, I don't have all the flanges, so I don't want to pull it off before I tack the flanges on, and then I can weld it up completely. But can we take a second here to say a word to our fallen friend here? This is our number 12 Fupa cup. I dropped it on the floor and it broke. I got no more number 12 cups left. I do have these two 16 cups, which are like huge, or like for titanium. They're the BBWs. See, BBWs from Fupa. Now this is super awesome, and I love when people send us stuff. You don't need to send us stuff, but people like to do it. But we have a nice care package from Shitbox Supply. Yeah, apparently they're like your one-stop shop for like all AN lines and stuff. It's what a little package we've got here. So it's a bunch of 8 AN stuff. There's also a shirt in here. We've got a nice hoodie here and a nice shirt. So I really appreciate it, guys. But we're gonna be converting all our red high pressure lines here to AN lines, and I have been considering making a new tank just on the side. What I want to do now, though, I think I'm going to weld up all of these edges right here on all our pipes, and then leave the other ones so we can maybe cut them and straighten them. But we're going to test out our big BBW cups on some stainless just to see what it's like. Just for an example here, this is a cheap Amazon number 10 cup. This is probably a number 6, yep. And then this is what a 16 cup looks like. So you just get much better gas flow over your weld, and it makes it better. So we're gonna put this BBW on. You do need a special adapter for these, and we're just gonna crank the gas flow way up. We'll use way more gas, but it'll be way better coverage. See, I can totally see a little bit of contamination in there. Let's see if we can a little bit of contamination there, but it'll work for what we're doing. So pipe number 5 in the pipeline here. As you can see, they're coming out pretty decent. I've been trying to work on my technique and get a little more consistent. This one back here got a little bit messed up because I switched to a different cup, and it didn't cover gas as well as the Fupa cup does. So I went back to the number 16, but instead I'm just using a short stick out and then like 30 CFH. You know what? I think today's just a welding kind of day. So I'm going to pull these turbos off, I'm going to pull the manifolds off, and I'm going to get them welded right to the flanges. And then when the other wastegates and the flanges come in, we can just weld the flanges on, and that'll be that. Wow, today was a weldy day. We've got this one completely welded up. All our runners here, we just need the ends. I'm also trying to weld with wire that's too big, so I have to go slow on some gaps. It's weird, but my gas distribution sucked as well. And then there's the other manifold. Now, since we're stuck in this build trying to get wastegates, we might as well progress forward with making this look a little bit better and function a little bit better. As you know, this was our original tank. It's been through a couple different iterations, and the welding on it wasn't completely the best, and it's not mounted the best. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a new tank. The new dimensions of this tank are gonna be 9 by 7 by 7. We're gonna cut it out of this 1/8" aluminum here. And it's actually gonna fit somewhere down here in this area underneath these hoses, and in front of the MAC valves and above the radiator. So it's gonna sit in this area somewhere here. It's gonna allow these things to be pointed down just a little bit more to get a little bit more downward flow. And we get rid of this being heated up by our radiator fan. Because I noticed this radiator blowing on this, plus the heat of the turbos and the oil going into this, this got extremely warm really fast. Version 2 of our tank now. We made it a little bit better looking than the last one. I did put some of these on backwards, like the shiny side is on the inside by accident, but the way it sits in the car is going to be, yeah. Okay, that was the right side. So it's shiny side, and we'll put the shiny side on top here. I'm not going to put this on yet because I'm going to drill all my holes first this time, that way I can clean it up properly. And I put the shiny side on the wrong side, this one and on this one, so the way it fits in the car, you're not going to see those two sides anyways. So obviously it's going to be spaced a little bit off the radiator there, but it's going to fit like that. These hoses are just going to kind of lay on top of that. We're going to cut this one out, and then yeah, everything gets transferred over to that one, I guess. Okay, I hate to do this, but I have to take it apart. Might be tougher than me, but you're not tougher than a knife. Neither are my fingers, so I probably shouldn't put them there. Great weld cut out. Oh, I didn't break the weld, I broke the pipe. The pipe was thinner than the weld. Alright, this is what we worked out, and we know all the holes that we need because we've done this before. So this is the front of the plate. This is where we're going to put our cap. A little bit smaller cap than we had last time. This is the inlet, so it's got to be angled that way. This is our return for our dash 6 from our fuel regulator. This is going to be our vent. And then this one needs to go straight in the side here. That's the one for the second return. And then down here, that's our oil out. Version 2 of our tank. As you can see, if I take my time to do something, it comes out pretty decent. So we're gonna get this mounted in the car. What we're gonna do, drill some holes in the side here. I didn't make this wide enough. I didn't take into account that we had to weld it as well. Probably line it up and see if we can get some rib nuts in the chassis there, like in that frame rail, and that's how we're gonna mount it. On this side, we're gonna put two, or need two between these two lines, because that's where the frame rail goes. And on this side, just because of where it lands on the chassis, there's only spot for one hole, so we're gonna put one right there. And it's gonna be triangulated, so 1, 2, 3, and then... And I mean, hopefully that holds the weight? I don't know. In Canada, it would hold the weight. I don't know about the United States. I don't know how you guys bolt strength to chassis rib nut works. All right, well that's a little bit ironic. As we were welding up these things, they're really hard to weld because it's so thin wall. You can see how thin the wall is here, and this is an 1/8 inch thick, so welding this is like, it's a little tricky. But this just showed up for our lathe, which is the drill chuck piece for like the end of the lathe, so you can drill into stuff. And I was actually going to make my own fittings with this solid billet piece, but I didn't have anything to drill through the center of it. So I didn't end up making my own ends, and I started welding that small aluminum. But now that we have this, and I could have cut a piece of that and drilled through the middle of it and made my own fitting, but maybe for next time. Also, this is huge. This is from Team Z Motorsports. They decided to get on board with Virginia's build, the thirst trap build right here. Her 83 Fox body Mustang, they were LS swapping with those twin turbos right there. You guys missed the last video on this. I noticed it was like way down in views, but it's the video previous to this one if you guys want to watch it. Virginia and I are building this one together. And let me just open this box real quick. As you can see, they hooked us up with a tubular K-member. This thing is wicked awesome. And we get rid of this one. This one's like, I don't know, 40 million pounds dinosaur compared to this new age baller stuff. And then we have the solid mounts right here that fit this K-member. We've got our transmission mount, which is going to be a big lifesaver. And we've got the A-arms to match. So really all we have to do is pull these spindles off, put it on our new stuff, and jam this back under the car, and our new motor bolts right into this. So there's a Team Z K-member in this one, along with A-arms. There was a Team Z K-member in my blue one that we crashed, and in the back of this car, there's actually Team Z upper and lower control arms. So if you guys remember, we have the upper and lower torque boxes as well that we were gonna put in the blue car. Thankfully we didn't because we crashed it, but they might go in this one because it gives you so much more adjustability and they're so much stronger. It's awesome when companies wanna get on board and help out little guys like us, make us go fast. And it just makes my life so much easier filming all this stuff to have people on board helping us out. So thank you, and we'll see more of this when we do the next episode of Thirst Trap. Hey, must be the money. I do have a couple styles of rib nut gun things, and the other one doesn't fit in there because the handle, you need to squeeze it. It's the water pump. So we're gonna try this one. This one was made for aluminum ones, but I'm gonna try a steel one just to see what happens here. Maybe I just gotta use my Hulk hands. I might break this tool, who knows. Yeah, ooh, workout. There you go, 3 spots in the chassis for our tank, and let's just bolt it in. Well, I feel like V2 looked way better than V1. As you can see, we just have to cut this hose a little tiny bit. We were able to put a bit more angle on this pipe so there's more downflow and it's direct into the tank. And then we just have to build one from here into that. Yeah, I like this one way better. This fitting might be a little bit in to where the water pump is, but I think we got it. Also, I forgot I had this blue silicone hose laying around, but this stuff is pretty expensive as well. We're gonna use this blue stuff versus the red stuff. It's a little more pliable and flexible. This was, ironically enough, this was from my Supra way back in the day when the catch can was up right in that area, and the fumes would go inside the cab because the heater control inlet was like right there. So I took this hose and instead of a breather, I ran this right underneath the car, and then it would breathe underneath the car instead of getting the fumes in the cab. So if you're one of those guys who has like a filter right here on your catch cam, and it's actually blowing into your car and you can smell it, it's giving you a headache and stuff, just buy a really long hose, replace the filter, and just put a hose underneath the car so it starts venting under the car instead of like inside the car. So how's version 2 of our tank, guys? I think that looks way better than the one that was in the front here. It took a little bit of extra time, but I think it's like our downward flow is way better on our rails here into the tank. The fill neck's right there. I don't have the proper fittings to run our return line, so I have to get some fittings. I have to get some fittings for our, I also have to get some Dash 8 fittings for our MPT ones as well. So next video, I have to find a place to mount our pump, also our oil filter. I do have a trans cooler somewhere. I don't know if I want to put that in there. And yeah, this is gonna be way better. We'll get rid of these lines too. We'll weld some Dash 8 fittings here. We'll just run a Dash 8T in the middle somewhere, probably like in there, and we'll run all nice black lines. Next episode, wastegates, oils, and then that's it, it's done. It's ready for the dyno. So after next video, dyno video for sure. Thank you guys for staying tuned with the build. I'm gonna go live on my second channel to edit this video, which you guys won't see because it's already been edited and uploaded, but my second channel is the link down below somewhere there. It's like KYL3 Williams. And I just do editing on there, and I show you how I kind of do my videos and how simple it is, and if you follow what I do, it's pretty easy. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Peace easy and good Debbie.